Hey, I am Pam Andrews, the Scholarship Shark, and I just wanted to do a quick overview of what financial aid is, just for students to understand. So financial aid is just basically money that a student receives in order to help cover the cost of attendance. I won't go into how the cost of attendance and how your need is met. We'll do that in another video, but I just wanted to explain what that is, because sometimes students will say, I don't qualify for financial aid, and what they're basically saying is there's one type of aid that they may not qualify for. So if we look at financial aid in terms of a larger picture, we'll start to look for some of those other places where we can find financial aid. So I'm going to break financial aid into two categories: money that you have to pay back and money that you don't have to pay back. So let's take a look first at the money that you have to pay back. That would be in the form of loans. So that's money that you borrow, whether it's subsidized, whether the interest is subsidized by the federal government or not. So your federal loans, private loans, parent loans, that's all the borrowed money. And there are requirements and guidelines for that. And that's typically what students mean when they say we don't qualify for aid. They're typically talking about subsidized student loans. However, another form of aid would be money that you do not have to pay back. Now, I want to break that down into two categories for the money that you don't have to pay back. It's money that you either work to earn, or it's money that you earn somewhat because you've done something to get it. So let's talk about the money that you work to earn. That's your federal work study. So when you complete your FAFSA and that's submitted to the schools, they'll determine, if you're eligible for the federal work study program, and you'll see that on your award letter. And then you want to check with the school to find out, what do I need to do to get it? Because it's not automatic. Just because it's stated on your award letter doesn't mean that you automatically get it. You have to go to the school, find out what their process is to apply for those jobs on campus. You want to find out, how are they awarding you that? Is it every week in a check? Is it, just how often, and all that good stuff. So that's money, and you don't have to pay that back. So that's federal funds that are awarded to the students to help with the costs of attendance that you work to get. Now, the other category in our money that we don't have to pay back would be scholarships and grants. So let's take a look at grants first. Grants are need-based money. And again, grants are driven off of the FAFSA. So there are federal grants. The most common federal grant is the Pell Grant. There are state grants. And it's important for students to understand that their state may award some money. And so it's important to find out, what are my state deadlines for federal money? What additional paperwork beyond the FAFSA do I need to complete in order to get that? So there's state grants. And then we're going to jump over on the scholarship side. And there are scholarships. So there are scholarships that are based on all kinds of criteria. Some for essays, for contests, science related research, your ethnicity, your major, where you live, lineage, all kinds of scholarships. And so I, wanted to kind of just give a broad overview of financial aid, because a lot of times students just look in very small categories and silos when they think financial aid. So again, money that you have to pay back, money that you don't have to pay back. Financial aid that you have to pay back are loans. Financial aid that you do not have to repay would be federal work study, grants, and scholarships. Federal work study, you do have to work for it in order to get it, so it is not automatic. Grants are need-based, and scholarships are merit-based. You have to do something in order to get the scholarship. Maybe it's an SAT score, maybe it's community service, leadership. You have to submit some type of paperwork. So again, I just wanted to give a quick overview of the different types of financial aid, so that as a student you can begin to look for all of those sources for funding for school. That's it. I'll see you next week. Bye.